Good morning. Man, what is up with China? The Great Red Menace. Guys, this is getting crazy. They are stealing billions. And when I say billions, I mean hundreds of billions. But for those of you that don't actually know what $1 billion is, it's 1,000 million. $1,000 million. We got hundreds of those being stolen every single year by these cocksucking Chinese. It's absolutely insane. Now, guys, what we're going to be talking about, and there's going to be a podcast coming. There's going to be a podcast coming called American Green. Because, guys, all of our American green, all of our money, our intellectual property, our rights as citizens, our safety is being jeopardized by the Great Red Menace. We are going to cover all of the companies that are in bed with China, all the people that are screwing you, the homeowner, over and installing cheap, inferior products on your home that could literally stop working at a moment's notice based on what the People's Republic of China decides they want to do. You know, to me, guys, I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense. Frankly, I grew up in a world where we should have dealt with the Chinese back in the 1950s when they stuck our nose in America's business for the first time during the Korean War. For all you veterans out there, hoorah, hoorah, depending on the branch you're in. Screw these Chinese, man. It's a freaking joke. We've educated them. We've allowed them to build an empire while stealing our technology. I mean, you guys ever looked at the F-22 and then looked at the J-20? I mean, the Chinese make a point of ripping people off. It's literally been their culture for 5,000 years. While we sit here in America and worry about the day-to-day, the moment-to-moment, it's bullshit, guys. It's absolutely bullshit. If you guys want to be in a situation where you work with companies that only deal with American-made products, or at the very least, products made by our allies, not people that literally want to kill us in the street and take our language and take our way of life and take our land and take our resources and conquer the world, guys, it's nuts. Every single day you guys make these choices. Every single day as a consumer, you have the choice to either be a patriot or a piece of shit. So you guys got to make a choice. Do you want to be a patriot, spend a couple extra dollars, support hardworking Americans, manufacturing equipment in the United States, designing and engineering things in the United States for the United States? Or do you want to fall into this globalist agenda of mediocrity? They are killing our country. They are killing our country. The Chinese are a huge part of it. I mean, guys, we can go anywhere with this China thing. Whether it's intellectual property being stolen, whether it's a bat that supposedly created COVID. I mean, for all my science people on here, guys, come on, look at the way the COVID molecule looks. That was genetically engineered. It was literally done to control the world's population and see how easily they could enslave all of us to follow their stupid rules and regulations. Guys, if you want to be a sheep, you might as well paint yourself red today because the Chinese will happily accept you as a sheep. Absolutely will accept you as a sheep. They'll keep taking your money. They'll keep arresting your NBA players. They'll keep doing everything they can to try to take over Taiwan, to try to rid the entire world of anything that looks like democracy, while, ironically, being a communist capital country. They've embraced our capitalism. They've raped and pillaged our technology. They've recreated things. They sell them back to us for pennies on the dollar while we put billions of dollars in their pockets so that they can continue to abuse human rights. They can continue to destroy the world. They can continue to build their empire. Again, in the United States, we have a new president every 4 years. We change our House of Representatives and our senators potentially every 2 years. Meanwhile, the Chinese have been playing this game since the Great Wall was built. Let that sink in for a second. Think about that. We're playing chess against a country that has nothing but time. Nothing but time on their hands. So if you're against the Chinese conquering the world, if you're against communism ruining our American values that our forefathers fought for, that my grandfather fought for, that the founders of this company fought for, then you absolutely have to make a change and stand up against the Great Red Menace. Otherwise, they will completely take over the world, as they are already doing, one economic move at a time. Again, guys, this is chess. This all came about because what we have found out is that solar companies specifically are going out of their way to use Chinese products. Why? Because they're cheaper. They're cheaper. They're not a better value. They're not a better product. They're just simply cheaper. I want to remind those of you that have been in the solar industry for a few years, what happened with Huawei. Guys, never forget Huawei. Huawei was caught mapping U.S. military bases using cell phones that were provided and manufactured by their company, literally tracking the movement of our U.S. soldiers as they did their PT so that they could map the general terrain and layout of United States military bases. These are facts. When President Donald Trump learned of this and the Congress got involved and they banned Huawei and the tariffs came into place on Chinese imports, the next day, every Huawei inverter in the United States of America suddenly stopped working. Every single customer that had a Chinese-made product on their house from Huawei had no solar power, had no idea what was going on, and customer service literally disappeared overnight. The People's Republic of China has absolutely no vested interest in the well-being of the United States of America, you, your family, your children, or your needs. So why do we continue to pump billions of dollars, trillions of dollars into a country that literally wants to destroy us? They are the enemy. There is absolutely no in-between with this. The Chinese are not here to help. They're not here to make our life better. They're simply here to rape and pillage the United States of America and kill the great dream. Guys, if you've ever traveled the world, we are the only country in the world that has a defined middle class, that has rich, poor, and a middle class, where you have a chance to move up in society. You go to other countries, it takes you 3, 4, 5 generations, guys, hundreds of years to change and to move up in the class system. This is the way the entire world has been for thousands and thousands of years, until 1776. Now again, this Chinese problem is not new. This is no different than what we experienced in the 1950s during Korea. This is no different than what we experienced in the 1960s in Vietnam. This is no different than what we're experiencing right now as China manipulates players like Russia and North Korea and Iran to carry out their agenda, which is to weaken and destabilize the United States of America economically, societally, and to divide us. Because everyone should be able to have everything. No, guys, you got to work hard. This country was built and founded by guys that worked their ass off. Worked their ass off and still found time to volunteer for the government. Volunteer for the government. Why do we support China? Guys, again, if you're liking the content that you're seeing here, throw a like, give us a follow, let your friends know that there are companies out there doing real legitimate American business that refuse to compromise themselves for a few dollars. Guys, we could make 20% more profit if we just push the Chinese products, the Chinese batteries, the Chinese solar panels, the Chinese microinverters. Fuck the Chinese. They have never done anything for this country to help it. They have only ever done things to push forward their communist totalitarian agenda. Why? Why, as a consumer, would you continue to put money in the pocket of the enemy? If you guys can't tell, I get a little pissed off about this. Why? Because millions and millions of men and women have given their lives so that we can have freedom in this country, so that we can actually take control of our lives. Solar power? Why does it exist? Because the utilities in this country were trying to enslave everybody. Raise prices whenever they want, do whatever they want. We got tired of it. Somebody got smart. They said, hey, look, if we build these solar panels, people can be responsible for their own electricity. People can be independent of the grid. People can live and survive when there's storms in Texas and hundreds of people die every year because they don't have electricity when it gets cold. They don't have electricity when it's 110 degrees outside. When the hurricane comes through, power's down for weeks at a time. Not with solar, not with batteries. However, if you have a Chinese product if you have a Chinese product on your home, what happens when the Chinese get pissed off and say, screw America again? Just like what happened with Huawei. Every solar system with these Chinese microinverters, subject to go down overnight. Every solar system with a Chinese-made battery, you think it's going to work in the morning? Come on, guys. Let's be really, really logical and realize that life is a game of chess, not a game of checkers. If you play checkers, you hop, skip, and jump around. And that's how we've treated the Chinese since the 1950s. We should have went into communist China then. We should have went into China during Vietnam. And the very least we can do today, as they continue to steal our intellectual property, as they continue to antagonize the world, as they continue to violate human rights, as they continue to oppress the economy, the very least we can do is protest against them in true American ways with our money. Why are we so big in the world? Why does the rest of the world pay so much attention to everything that happens in America? Money, guys. Money, 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 man. This was the first $1 trillion country in the history of the world. You guys may not know that. First $1 trillion company was in the United States of America. The first trillionaire was in the United States of America. Guys, corruption is corruption. Look at Russia. Look at China. Look at all these other places in the world where you have extremely rich and extremely poor. And that's literally all you have. Rich and poor. So if you're totally down with being poor, hey, keep giving your money to the Chinese. Because I promise you, if this continues, not only are we going to lose control of our electric grid, which they try to hack on the regular, not only are we going to lose control of our water, not only are we going to lose control of our farming, we're going to lose control of our country. We already have our politicians being paid off by the Chinese. Guys, I mean, Joe Biden and his family have profited millions and millions of dollars from getting into bed with the Chinese. This isn't about politics. It's about being an American. If you're an American, if you know someone that's been in the military, how in the hell can you possibly bring yourself to buy a Chinese product? Guys, look, I know sometimes it's hard because every stupid thing is made in China, because things are outsourced. I promise you there are solutions. Every single product you make, every single product you buy and consume in your home can be made in the USA. And if it's not made in the USA, at least make sure it's made by one of our allies. Don't give money to Russia. Don't give money to China. Don't give money to all these weird countries, Belarus. I mean, who the hell ever heard of Belarus before they jumped into bed with Belgrade and Russia? And I mean, guys, it's ignorant. And then we get distracted by the media on top of it because nobody wants to tell the truth. Nobody wants to admit we've been in an economic war with China for 20 years. Nobody wants to admit we're actually losing that war right now. Guys, the Chinese have trillions of dollars of U.S. currency. I don't think that's accidental. I think that people don't pay attention to the world. I think that people don't pay attention to the way that things actually work. And that creates a ton of problems, guys. Because if you pay attention, you'll understand that war is only a distraction. Money, follow the money. If you follow the money, you'll find the war, you'll find the politics, and you'll be able to protect both of them by just following the money. I know you guys heard this a bunch during COVID. Well, let's just follow the science. You know what? This isn't one of those bullshit scenarios. If you follow the money, you always find out who's pulling the strings. No matter what, 100% of the time, it's never, ever changed. So, if you're sick and tired of Chinese bullshit, if you want North American, made in America, man, I don't care. If you're Hispanic, fuck China, right? If you came from Latin America, fuck China. If you came from Canada, fuck China. If you live in America, fuck China. Even if you're a Chinese person living in America, fuck China. Because why are you here? Why did you come to this country? Because China's such an awesome place to be? Or are you here as a spy? Are you trying to sneak onto our Marine Corps bases? Are you trying to sneak in through the southern border? Are you the definition and the personification of the stupid, stupid world that we are creating here in the United States by allowing everyone in the rest of the world, especially the Chinese, to treat us like a 2-bit street whore? I don't know about you. I don't spread my legs for 25 cents. Maybe if you guys want to throw out a little bit bigger number, hey, maybe we'll do a live where I spread my legs, but it won't be for the Chinese. I can promise you that. our company, myself, anyone I work for, better not deal with the Chinese. If you deal with the Chinese, hey man, you're the enemy. I promise you, we'll treat you like the enemy. We are coming. We are making an alliance of solar companies, construction companies, and companies in general that refuse to do business with the Chinese, that will not give any more money to China, that will not support the Communist People's Party. Guys, if you don't understand that the Chinese are controlling all this weird shit going on right now, then you're not paying attention. If you don't think the Chinese have a role to play with what's going on over in Israel and Palestine, man, I feel sorry for you. You must not have went to college. Or if you did, you must have got one of those bachelor's of arts degrees or something. Some other useless freaking degree. Guys, we are the most educated nation in the world. We are the most rich nation in the world. And in theory, the only nation in the world where communism would kind of work. But you know what the problem is? If we all woke up tomorrow with the same amount of money, which here in the United States divided equally would be in the tens of millions of dollars each, I promise you within 30 days it wouldn't be the same. The reason communism doesn't work is because if everything is the same for everybody, then everybody is miserable. Dude, what would be the point of owning a Ferrari if every jackass on the block had one? Would your Ferrari be special? Would you have accomplished anything because you drove that Ferrari? Absolutely not. Because everybody's got one. This is what makes the United States so special. This is what makes our country amazing. This is why people can come here from other countries and completely change their families' lives for generations to come in a matter of 10 years. Again, to circle back, every other country in the world, guys, with a traditional class system of rich and poor, royalty and serfs, however you want to look at this, you don't get to move up. You don't have an opportunity to change your family's class. You're either in the class or you're not. That sucks, man. That's depressing. Here in the United States, you could be a poor, broke, dick motherfucker. And within 5 or 10 years, be a multimillionaire. I've seen it. I'll be giving you guys different examples as we jump into the podcasts. I'm just letting you guys know. Here's the reality. Fuck China. Fuck China. I'll say it again. Fuck China. If you have something in your home made in China, throw it away. Buy something American. It's the best thing you can do to support our nation. If you truly care about this country, you will stop doing things to destroy your own nation from within. You will not be a sheep. You will not be a pawn. Why are the pawns first on the chessboard? Because they're meant to be sacrificed. They're meant to be given up so that the king, the queen, the bishop, the castle, the knight can go and kick some ass. They are a distraction. Just like the media, just like the bullshit you watch on TV, where they don't tell you what's really going on. They don't tell you that North Korea does things because China says so. That Russia does things because the Chinese have said, hey, if you want our military hardware to help you fight the Ukrainians. Yes, I said the Chinese are helping the Russians fight the Ukrainians. I know. Oh my God, it's controversial. Guys, these are facts. These are facts. We are building the rest of the world's military. We are giving money to hostile countries, while at the same time we don't even feed our own poor. We don't even take care of our own veterans in this country that have been willing to fight and die for this nation. Why? Because everybody wants it cheaper. Everybody wants their widgets. Everybody wants their comfort. If my comfort means I have to give money to the Chinese, then guess what? I'm not going to be comfortable. Because I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. I'm sick and tired of people raping the country that I love, the country that my family fought for, the country that's the only country I have to live in. I don't know, maybe some of you guys have citizenship in 5 different countries. Good for you. But I'll tell you what, the United States of America is the best place I've ever lived. I've been to other parts of the world. I've traveled to other parts of the world. I've spent enough time there to know this is the greatest country on earth. And if you support this country, then you will support companies like Devil Dog Energy that only deal with American and ally supplied materials. Do not deal with the Chinese. Do not buy from the Chinese. And if you do, don't be surprised when you get hurt, something bad happens, because the Chinese do not have the interest of the United States of America at heart. Not for a single second. Not for a single second, guys. Again, hashtag for all you guys that are going to follow the podcast coming up here, and we're going to have some crazy guests on here that are going to tell you how it really is, what really happens when you get in bed with the Chinese. Guys, I could give you a list of companies right now that have been ripped off by the Chinese. I'm going to start with two that every single one of you knows. Tesla, Apple. You know what Tesla and Apple say? Fuck China. That's what Tesla and Apple say. They've ripped off self-driving car technology, battery technology, and now they take the technology they've stolen from America, they repackage it, they manufacture it cheap as shit because they pay slave wages to their workers, and then they turn around and sell it back to us like it's a good deal. If that makes sense to you, man, I got a bridge in Brooklyn that your ass needs to buy. Shoot me a DM, guys. These lives will be happening several times a week. Podcast minimum once a week. Hashtag American Green. Not to be confused with American greed, which is what we're talking about here. The greed of corporations, the greed of individuals, and the selfish nature of America today, which is allowing countries like China to kick our fucking ass. I'm tired of getting my ass kicked. I'm taking a stand. If you want to take a stand with me, let's go. Hashtag fuck China. Hashtag American Green. Let's keep the green here in America, benefiting Americans with American jobs and American technology so that we can grow America. Because America has to be great. If America isn't great, I guarantee you the rest of the world goes to shit. This is the great experiment. Let's not let it fail, guys. I hope you guys have a great and amazing day out there. Again, throw a follow, throw a like. Have a great day.